You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view. Until you climb inside of his skin and walk around in it. I wanted you to see what real courage is, instead of getting the idea that courage is a man with a gun in his hand. It's when you know you're licked before you begin, but you begin anyway and see it through no matter what. People generally see what they look for, and hear what they listen for. The one thing that doesn't abide by majority rule is a person's conscience. They're certainly entitled to think that, and they're entitled to full respect for their opinions. But before I can live with other folks, I've got to live with myself. The one thing that doesn't abide by majority rule is a person's conscience. It was times like these when I thought my father, who hated guns and had never been to any wars, was the bravest man who ever lived. Mockingbirds don't do one thing but make music for us to enjoy. They don't eat up people's gardens, don't nest in corn cribs, they don't do one thing but sing their hearts out for us. That's why it's a sin to kill a mockingbird. Real courage is when you know you're licked before you begin, but you begin anyway and see it through no matter what. When a child asks you something, answer him, for goodness sake. But don't make a production of it. Children are children, but they can spot an evasion faster than adults, and evasion simply muddles him. Simply because we were licked 100 years before we started is no reason for us not to try to win. You can choose your friends, but you sure can't choose your family, and they're still kin to you no matter whether you acknowledge them or not, and it makes you look right silly when you don't. There's a lot of ugly things in this world, son. I wish I could keep 'em all away from you. That's never possible. Try fighting with your head for a change. It's a good one, even if it does resist learning. You can't really get to know a person until you get in their shoes and walk around in them. People don't like to have somebody knowing more than they do. It aggravates them. Sometimes it's better to bend the law a little in special cases. Sometimes the Bible in the hand of one man is worse than a whiskey bottle in the hands of another. Equal rights for all, special privileges for none. Nothing is more deadly than a deserted, waiting street. Let the dead bury the dead.